All right. Call to order this meeting of the Douglas Cable Advisory Committee. It is Monday, July 1st, 2019. There are... do the vacancies first?
You can do the vacancies first.
Yeah. There is currently one opening on the committee, soon to be two openings on the committee. So if anybody out there is interested, please reach out to Pat at cable@douglasma.org or call 508-476-4000 extension 222 if you're interested. You don't have to have any experience in broadcasting or anything. Just, if you're interested at all helping out, give Pat a call and he can fill you in on what it involves. It's not much of a commitment. It's about once a month. In the summer, it's been every other month, so. And the meetings go pretty quick. All right. FY20 reorganization. So. Do you want to?
Well, I'll make a motion to have for Fred Fontaine to be the chair of the committee for fiscal 20.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.
And so, all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. So we need to nominate a...
You need somebody else to sign. I mean, I can do it for the next few months.
3 months? Okay, that's...
Yeah.
All right. So I nominate Tom Devlin as co-chair.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right.
And hopefully in the meantime, we'll get one of those volunteers to sign up and join us on this committee.
And people that work for the cable assistants, they're eligible, right? They just might have to not vote on certain issues?
No, they'd have to be town residents, so.
Oh, again, there, most of them aren't.
I think the bulk of them are. I think
I
most of them are. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I'd have to get a legal opinion on that.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be
I
interesting.
think
They might not even be
there could
interested.
be a conflict there, but I would have to ask. Could you ask the?
I know that we had someone interested. One of our recording assistants was interested in another commission, and they were told that it would be fine. That there's no conflict as long as there's not like a monetary conflict, I believe.
Okay.
But and they wouldn't be able to work it, so they wouldn't be able to work the meeting that they're
Oh, yeah.
attending.
Right.
But
Great.
so we'd have to get someone else to cover the meeting that they're at. But I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay. Well,
But that wasn't their own committee, so I'm not sure.
yeah, we should get a definitive answer.
Can you look into that?
Sure.
And after you get your answer, if it's that it won't be a problem, maybe reach out to them, say, I
Okay.
think they might be interested. So that brings us to expenditures. Do you want to go over that?
All right, on the expenditures for the month of May, month of June is not yet available, and of course, the month of June is the closing month, but in May, our full-time wages total $2,434, with year-to-date expenditures of $28,462, and we had remaining at the end of May $3,295, so we should make it without any problem whatsoever. Part-time wages were $1,080 for the month of May. For the year-to-date is $10,950, with the fiscal budget of $16,274, so we have remaining in that budget $5,323 as of the end of May. For FICA wages in May, it was $50, and the year-to-date was $548, and we had a budget of $786. We had remaining $237, so we should be fine there. Other services, $644. were spent in the month of May. $2,046 were spent year to date. We had a budget of $3,000, so we still have $953 to get us through the month of June, so we should be fine there as well. And so that's basically the total expenses of $695.92 for the month of May. The year to date is $17,385, and then the budget was $38,208. So we still have a large sum of that amount, $20,000 in that account. So we will come out of the fiscal year in the black.
All right. Thank you, and all that information is online, if anybody wants to see it. All right, meeting minutes.
So just before we do that, we have new internet bills.
Yes, we got back billed for the beginning of the year because there was some confusion on the way that it broke out per department, so they figured it out. So we got some bills from January on
Okay, and,
that we hadn't been billed for them this year yet.
okay, so now we're paying more or
A
less?
little bit more, yeah.
A little bit more. Is the service better?
It's been really good. I haven't had any problems at all. So I mean, and there's been no on the old contract the way it was. There was quite a bit of when I was here during regular hours and I was uploading and downloading. It was really locking people in the system. They were having a really hard time. Their system was doing it as well to me. So we were doing it back and forth, and it was a problem I would hear about constantly. So this new system, I haven't heard any of that at all. So since they've renegotiated everying and
Yeah, they redesigned the network.
they redesigned the network and it's running, it's running good for us, so I haven't heard anything, so.
Great.
And I can do what I want. I don't hear, nobody is asking if I'm online,
You don't get dirty looks in the hallway anymore.
No.
And this is one that just is dated for today, the voucher sign for the Worcester Regional Retirement. Was there an explanation given for?
So they were waiting on Worcester Retirement to bill them for the FY20 year in order to figure out that breakdown, and they got the bill a little bit early, and they asked if we could just push this through so that we could get it into the system. It's technically an FY20
Right,
bill,
okay.
but yeah.
Okay, so I assume this is part of the way of the retirement system trying to catch up with its,
Yeah, because I don't think we've been billed out for it
Right.
previously, so,
Right.
but we do budget for it, but.
okay.
All right, give you guys a second to read the minutes of
Minutes, okay.
May 13th.
I'll motion to accept the meeting minutes of Monday, May 13th, 2009 as presented.
Thank you. Yeah, second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Correspondence. All right, some correspondence from Charter Communications to municipal officials of the town of Douglas. Charter Communications Charter, locally known as Spectrum, is making its customers aware that on or around May 24th, Olympusat will cease transmission of its Hillsong channel located on expanded basic/standard tier SD and HD serving your community. If you want to view a current channel lineup, you can visit www.spectrum.com/channels. All right, And this correspondence from the Board of Selectmen informing me that I've been reappointed to the Cable Advisory Committee.
Congratulations.
Also one to Christopher.
Don't mind the coffee stains. I had a small coffee apocalypse in my office that
I
morning.
was just wondering about those.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going, is that my screen?
I knocked my cup right over with my elbow, so all over my papers.
Wonderful. That's always a good feeling.
Yep.
And there's also another one from Spectrum informing us of channel changes. So if anybody's interested in that, you can go to the website I just mentioned to see the current lineup.
And the last thing is just from finance. They send us this annually just to remind us and to show how they have our budget broken down for FY20, just so we can double check it and make sure there's no problems, and it's as we designed. So
And it's pretty much the same as 19,
it's the same as what?
2019.
Well, the budget. Do you mean the actual budget or just the report? The report's the same, but the the numbers we went up
None of the
slightly.
ones we went through.
What's that?
These are all the numbers we went through, and we increased things by like 2.5%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a small increase for most of the. Some of them we went down actually because we did a more.
Realistic.
Yeah, we looked at a little bit more every category. I kind of broke down and tried to look at my spending habits and really kind of fine tune it. So
Super.
All right. So just so I understand, so we took that, and then we did that, they took that, and then
yeah,
created this report.
they took our submission and then they break it down this way because they, I guess they're putting it in their system so
Yeah, I
that.
would assume they want it in their system, so.
Yeah,
it's easier for
as
them.
we give them vouchers, then they can put stuff into the right categories and whatnot. It keeps everything on track. And then that's what we have to, at the end of the year, we have to make sure that our numbers match their numbers on the same kind of sheet, so.
And that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks for
last
fiscal
year.
19.
Yep.
All nice and organized. It's
Yep.
good.
Okay.
All right, coordinator report, Pat?
All right, so there's the meetings coverage for May of 2019. We had a couple that we paid canceled. One was the committee still trying to figure out their quorum issues, and then the building department did give us notice, but it was just like a hair too late, so we didn't get there in time to cancel out our person. But it's definitely a lesser occurrence that we're paying people to come for something that doesn't happen, but it does happen.
Good.
Yeah. Pretty healthy month. And then the June was a way lighter month. We had a couple more of those cancellations. We had a quorum issue, and then the library tried to get a hold of me and left a message and stuff, but it wasn't in time for our folk again.
Okay.
So, but they did attempt, which I gave them props for.
Good. Thank you.
And then, so the things that have been happening, May 16th, had a nice little surprise. They came and knocked on the door, and there was a professional window washer crew, and they washed all the windows in the office, which was nice because they were pretty grimy. So the office is nice and bright now, so I was very thankful about that.
And
I
the
think
windows in this room are obviously cleaner.
yeah, they did I think they did the whole municipal center, so it was
Great.
nice. In and out.
Good news.
As far as the archiving has been going, 2009 and 2010 are both now up in full. So we have from 2006 to 2010 is fully uploaded to the Internet Archive now. So that, that's slowly becoming our main archive source. And then just to let everyone know too, from 2017 to current is all on there too, because when we got signed up for the Internet Archive, it immediately started backing up whatever we send to YouTube automatically backs to Internet Archive, so I don't have to do it twice, which is really nice. And folks can go there, which I do have a link from our website now, and folks can go there if they want to download the file. So if someone needs to have the file, they can just go and download it. Not like YouTube. So that's pretty nice. So just keep cranking along at that. Try to get everything up. 526, the Memorial Day Parade was recorded, made broadcast. There was no real surprises. Seemed like the weather held out, so it's pretty nice. Came out nicely. The Mac Mini in the cable office, during one of the Board of Selectmen meetings, I got a frantic call from the recording assistant because nothing was working. I came in and it looked like the monitor had died. That was a reused monitor it was an old monitor anyway, so I just ordered a small monitor for that, and that's installed, so it's a smaller monitor. It takes up a lot less space, so it's kind of nice. All the vendors have returned quotes for the resource room audio, the PA system, which we'll consider tonight after this report concludes. And then I just got a reminder that we need to have a committee vote on signing authority for FY20, so that one of you guys can come in and sign off on vouchers and payroll, not the whole committee. That's something we have to do annually.
I'll make a motion then that we allow the chair or vice chair to sign the vouchers and payroll in fiscal 20.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
They're caught up on the word unanimous. Have to type that fast. All right, so that was the end of my report, and I just had the PA stuff queued up. If you guys want to discuss that project.
Go for it.
All right. So there's a little spreadsheet there that just kind of broke down what I found to be the kind of important details of the general project and how each one of them responded. So we have HB Communications in the first column, Ockers in the second column, Pro Sound Services in the third column, and then Access AV in the last column. They're randomly in columns. There's no order to it. And if you'll see on your page that these little, my mouse is dead. There's little dots above each one. I just threw a little link so you could go to the actual quote if you'd like to see more details. HB Communications, I didn't really detail out because I feel like they kind of blew the project out. I mean, it's like triple what we're looking to spend. So, and as far as the items that they had, all right, so let me back up a little, explain what's on the spreadsheet here. So in each individual column, we have table mics, audience mics, speakers, amp, mixer, ADA compliance, warranty, labor, and total project price. I gave a little red highlight to anything that I thought was not ideal, just to help try to better show it visually, and then I gave a yellow highlight to anything I thought was ideal or the lowest price for any given category. But HB Communications, it's funny, they all pretty much gave the same table mic, and you can see there's 3 different ones that had the MX418 gooseneck, and there's 3 different prices. So
Yeah, that's not surprising.
yeah, and then the other thing is, so most of them did a price breakdown. The only one who really didn't was Pro Sound, so I didn't break out the pricing there because that's not the way they had their quote set up, really.
Okay.
So it's hard to measure them back to back that way. But so yeah, I thought HB Communications came back. That's we don't even have the approval to go that far. Yeah, it's pretty out there. So I sort of put them off to the side. I think it's really between Ockers, Pro Sound, and Access AV. How you guys want me to do this? You want me to just explain what I think as far as this spreadsheet goes?
If you would.
Okay. So Access AV came back, pretty competitive with price and everything, but the only thing I didn't like is that their mixer, they were going to put the exact same mixers in that we already have. And I kind of thought that if we're gonna do this project, we might as well go up a notch and try to get something a little bit better than what we already have. So I wasn't thrilled with that part of their proposal. But otherwise, it's pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, I would knock them off right away just because of that, because to do it right, you need the mix minus and all
Yeah.
that, so.
Yep. So it's really kind of down to Ockers versus Pro Sound as far as responsiveness goes.
Can I just, where did you get these vendors?
Okay, so the vendors, we got a list from the town administrator for different vendors that work off of the Combis, the Massachusetts Combis list.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe all of them were on it except for Pro Sound, they had come in to actually the year before they had come in and looked at the project and everything, so I was just continuing with them. But we were told that we would preferably have at least 2 off the Combis list, which we ended up with 3 off the Combis list. So Ockers, HB Communications is a brand new, we've never dealt with them as far as I know. And I just got them off the list. They came down and did a site viewing, but it, went a little too heavy for my taste. And then Ockers is a company that bought out Integrated Solutions, and Integrated Solutions are the company that did the cameras in both of these rooms and the new video equipment. So they are very familiar with our setup. And they've put most of it in. They actually did our Tightrope broadcast system as well. And then Pro Sound was the company that I was talking about before. They had been in here and done they did a quote last year for us. Access AV is a company that I've dealt with quite a bit on smaller projects, and they're a very helpful company, but they were also on the Combis list, but they're sort of someone that I go to, regularly for advice or talking about different equipment, but I don't believe they've done any work here. And they actually came and did when we were doing the broadcast system, they gave us a quote on a different broadcast system. So we've got a couple quotes from them.
Ockers bought out who?
Integrated Solutions, which had bought out the camera company.
Okay.
So it was originally a camera company, then it became Integrated, now it's Ockers. So Ockers would come in, and I did specify in the email out to them for this quote that I was looking for pretty much all new equipment, and they came in and they have a quote for pretty much a new everything. So on the Pro Sound, I just highlighted in red on the speakers because they have in there that they would just use the existing speakers and the existing amp. And that amp's just really, really old, so I would wonder if they would, have something better in that category at least. I don't know how back and forth.
Well, it
we
was
can go.
the existing amp
Yeah.
is better than the amp that Ockers is quoted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a JBL 2x80 watts. It's like a glorified home stereo receiver.
Really?
It's small, yeah. And same with the speakers. The speakers are 4-inch speakers and
Yep.
4-inch speakers, and these are better than
Must be.
So there's that.
6s. Yeah.
So there's that. And I'm not super familiar with either the Symmetrics or the Sound Web London, but from what I'm reading, it looks like they are comparable systems. It just comes down to what people usually what they've worked with in the past they stick with. So and as far as pricing on those, again, I'm not sure what the price difference would be on those two.
Yeah, if you Google the Symmetric Solos, there's different models,
Yep.
so it's hard to.
There's different models, and it's most of the information that I found on the two were people who are SoundWeb London people talking about how great that is, and then people in the Solus talking about how great that is. So it's really difficult to. I'm sure they're probably both great systems. It just depends on
So on the Pro Sound, are they suggesting only 6 mics, 6 table mics and 2?
That's what's in the current quote, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Which, you know, some of that could be from, because they already quoted it once, so maybe he
Yep.
worked from the old quote, but, again, I'm not sure how much back and forth we can do at this point to try and get them to tweak their quotes, or if we just decide off this initial quote, but, it's a gambit of different things. I mean, they all have they all have different mixers. They all have different. The ADA compliance piece. You know, it's all kind of cut from the same cloth. I mean, 2 of them have the Listen Tech, and then, you know, what really. I do like that the Pro Sound offers the 1 year on the equipment defects and installation, whereas Aukers didn't. They have no warranty listed at all on theirs. You know, we have worked with them, so I feel like they would cover it, but you know, it's a really big price difference, which is, you know, if Aukers is only a couple grand less, it would make me feel a little more comfortable, but it's a really big price difference from all the rest.
Right.
You know, they really stick out as the lowest.
Makes me
Also,
nervous,
well, the
actually.
The labor is half as much as,
Yeah, the labor isn't as much, and like you said, they're using the well, you know, I was trying to, it's hard without everything broken out, it's hard to see exactly where the difference is, but labor is definitely one of the big ones.
Yeah, I'm looking at the actual quote from Aukers.
Yep.
I'm like, how can it be so cheap? You know, just. So just the materials are 10 grand.
you don't really want to be back here next year talking about replacing.
Right.
That's another thing. Just got to pull it up in front of me so I can see it better. So I don't know. I think that it's probably at least easier to remove HB from the consideration and remove Access AV from the consideration, and then you're looking at really like 2 very different quotes here. So, and you know the audio stuff, so you know that quality-wise, maybe we'd be moving downward in the speakers and the amp.
Yeah, it would definitely be downward with the speakers and the amp, but at the same time, the Pro Sound isn't charging us for speakers and amp. There's, you know, so it's. I'm trying to think how it makes me know how is Aukers able to do it so inexpensively. Did they explain the Symmetric system, about how they would do it and dial it in and do the mix minus? And Pro Sound said, okay, like these speakers will have to be taken out of the mix so they don't feed back into them.
Yep.
That's a skill. you
Yeah,
know?
oh, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what Pro Sound does. They do audio.
Yep.
And Aukers, I'm not super familiar with Aukers. You know, if they're more of a camera place, they might.
Yeah, I'm not. We've had them do. I mean, they did the recording audio in that room. So in the other room over there, they did the hanging mics and what we have in there right now. In here, they really only worked with the camera stuff. So we've been using them for mostly video applications and broadcast. So we use them for the Tightrope server. I really like video and broadcast operations, not so much the audio stuff. I don't think they haven't installed any audio except for the recording stuff over there. But I mean, I know the difference in the quote that we received. I mean, we got a 1-page quote from Aukers, which is like a spreadsheet, and then we have like, what is it, like a 9 or 10-page quote from Pro Sound, which goes through very detailed.
Right.
And I know that was the one that town administrator liked last year when we were looking at this project, because he thought that they had a good they explained everything really well and in great detail. You know, I'm not slamming Ockers, they have a different way of doing it. It doesn't exactly break it down like you ask about.
Right.
And the Access AV one uses 2 existing.
The Access AV would be giving us new versions of what we already have in there, which is kind of maybe part of the issue with what we had as the current.
Aren't we sort of at the limit on those at this point?
Well, he would give us an 8 and then an additional 4 track, so we'd have the 12
Yeah.
possible, but those don't have the mix minus capability, the digital signal processing that the other
Yeah,
ones
or
do.
equalization.
Because these, I mean, the digital signal processing is really going to bring us up a level where, you know, if someone is talking quietly, that the system will kind of give us a little bit of gain there to help us out, and our people won't have to do that. The ones right now we can crank them all up, and it'll take, so if I'm talking, it's taking this mic. If you start talking, it'll take that mic. But it doesn't really mess with audio at all. It doesn't push any gain or remove any gain, so it's, you know, it's a whole new ball field.
Yep.
That stuff, and it's kind of blows my mind actually that the technology's moved that way so fast, because it kind of gives you like a robot skilled audio person,
Right.
which is interesting. And I mean both of the systems I had asked that it's just going to be pretty much set up, and then we're not going to have to really touch it. You know, our people aren't going to have to mess with it. I would anticipate if we had any major issues that we would probably get whoever installed it involved to come check it out. And so, I mean, you know, it is tough if you do it straight by the numbers. It's obvious that there's one that's lower, but I mean, like you said, that's almost a flag in a way, where the 3 other ones are so much higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the labor alone goes from 12 to 6 to 5 to 2,400.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those Audix on the Pro Sound, the Audix hanging condenser microphones are a lot, like a level higher than the other guys that they're proposing as well. It looks like 2 of them are doing the Shure CVO, and I don't know, Fred, if you know anything about that microphone in particular, but it looked like it was a little bit more quality of a hanging condenser mic.
I do know Pro Sound 2 has done, when he was in his season, he's done pretty much exactly this setup in other towns somewhere. I don't know, kind of at a disadvantage not being familiar with Ockers, so they just kind of, I don't know.
They're great. They're great. They've been great with the stuff that we've worked with them at. You know, I have no complaints about any of the work they've done.
You have any thoughts, Chris?
I'm not too familiar with any of this stuff.
I'd like to actually talk to the vendors, but how does that work as far as meeting rules? You're not gonna talk to someone outside of a meeting?
You can talk by yourself as a single person. It's just if the 3 of us talk to them and it wasn't recorded, then
Okay,
and
understood.
it's not posted, then it's a problem. But you could talk to them. You want to do that and defer.
But then it would put us off for another month.
We could have a quick meeting and take your advice under advisement.
That's true. We just, like we did with that budget meeting where we just met for like 10 minutes and just hashed out one subject.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
You good with that, Chris?
Yeah.
You want to put you in
Just
touch with
one-
Ockers?
Next week I'm gone.
Okay.
So, If you could-
Yeah, so this week, so it won't be, sort of pushing it off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, then if you could just see if we could get them at least moving in before the end of August. When the-
What happens when schools go back?
Well,
in?
it's just that I'm sure the meeting schedule in July and August is a little slower than,
Yeah, it's pretty, it slows
Right.
down definitely through the summer. I mean, it's probably worth it, especially where you're familiar with this stuff, like where you can, you know.
I'm inclined right now to go with ProSound because that number makes me nervous, but I think it'd be prudent to check it. Maybe they just
check with them.
really, really, really want our business.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it's a big difference. But at the same time, okay, I wouldn't use that amplifier, nor would I use those speakers.
Right.
So that would change their quote.
Yeah, if you specified a different mixer and, I mean, a different amp and different speakers.
And those speakers, and if they're the wrong pieces of equipment for the, so that kind of makes me nervous about the vendor.
Yeah, I mean, this is a unique project because you know this stuff really well, so it's.
So I wouldn't want to have them, they re-quote it, you know, we could be chasing this for, you know, should we just, what do you think?
I mean, I think that, so at least protocol-wise, if you guys, at this point, we're just gonna make a recommendation, or you're gonna make a recommendation to the town administrator, and I believe he will use your recommendation to consider, so.
Okay, since he's the one making the actual decision, my recommendation would be to go with the ProSound quote. You know, seeing the speakers and the amp that they quoted, you know, I'm not really familiar with the Symmetrics one.
the only thing I'm nervous about was taking with the 6 microphones and the 2 in the ceiling. That's what they're quoting.
Yeah, and I don't know what those, because they didn't price it out by item, so, you know, I'm not sure what the Audix is gonna run, or the gooseneck. I mean, we can kind of see where the gooseneck is at. It's, you know, it's about.
Yeah, well, the gooseneck is, yeah.
It's almost the same thing.
It's around 250,
Yeah.
275.
So we add a couple more of those, and
The hanging, well, we can find out what they are.
What do you think, we need the 8?
It just, I don't know, if they're good omnis, I guess, or good cardioids, they should be fine.
we had just the 2 right now, right? Yeah, we just had the 2 panel speaker mics, I mean, the audience mics. And, you know, I don't know if the room's changed since they were installed, but I mean, they're sort of up front.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if 2 actually centered around the audience would be fine or not, but.
Those Audix M1250Bs are about $400 a piece.
Yeah.
Wow. And I know Charlie, who came out, he knows what he's doing, and we showed him what we got going on.
Yeah,
if that's
yeah,
what
he walked the
recommend.
room.
Yeah.
He walked the room. You know, it was a thorough site visit.
I tend to go with that too.
Yeah, we could keep chasing this for forever.
Yeah, well, I've been chasing it over a year now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris? I know it's,
So we don't have to vote on it or anything, because we're just making a recommendation, so.
well, we should vote on the recommendation too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the ProSound Services bid for our PA system in the resource room.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
All right. So I'll pass this on to the town administrator and see where we go from there.
All right.
You do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna restate, I've worked on a lot of systems that were put in by audiovisual companies, and when they really needed a sound, an audio company to come in, it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because it's its own. It
Yeah.
really is its own.
It's its own
thing.
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And I had the competition update, but I wasn't sure where we were at with that, but I,
We were waiting for those letters.
oh yeah, we were waiting for
streaming back
letters,
in
that's right.
Yeah.
From all the cable companies.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
saying that they
Nothing.
wanted to come to Douglas.
Not a thing.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, any other business?
I have none. But shall we make the next meeting Monday, July 15th? Oh, no, we
No.
don't have to do that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
New strategy.
We'll make it for the 12th, and if we don't meet on the 12th, it's because there's not a lot going on.
All right, so it's technically it's July now.
Yep.
Do you want to schedule for September?
You want me to, I can pass this recommendation on to the town administrator, and if there's any further action needed by you guys, then maybe,
Yeah, let's stick with the 12th, and then if we
Pencil it in?
cancel,
I know you can't pencil it in, but.
pencil it in.
Right.
And if we have no need of meeting, we'll just cancel it.
okay.
And when's the cutoff time to cancel?
Oh, it's like,
Like 48 hours,
Okay.
so.
All right.
okay.
Before, I just want to make sure I get Chris's
Yeah.
number before.
Or I actually wouldn't even post the meeting or the agenda unless you guys gave me the go-ahead, so if we don't
Okay.
need to, then I won't even post it, and then we don't have to cancel anything.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.